Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always. What are we exploring today?
Well, we've got 15 fascinating facts.
Okay, I'm hooked already. What kind of things are we talking about here?
Well, buckle up, because some of these are truly mind-boggling. Ever wonder what $1 million coin looks like?
Actually, yeah, now that you mention it.
We'll get to that. But first, how about this? Did you know that the first credit card wasn't even for shopping sprees?
Really? What was it used for then?
Let's just say it was a bit more exclusive than your average Visa card.
Oh.
Oh, and then there's this bizarre tax from 17th century India.
Okay, you're really teasing us now.
Yeah.
Spill the beans. What was this tax?
You have to wait and see. But trust me, it's a wild one. Ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's get started.
All right, fact number 1. Only 1%, just 1% of the world's money actually exists physically.
Wait, seriously? So all those stacks of cash we see in movies?
Pretty much an illusion. It's wild to think about, right? We're so used to swiping cards, tapping phones, and transferring money online that we forget about good old-fashioned cash.
It really highlights how much the financial landscape has changed with the rise of digital money. We're talking bank deposits, credit, those complex financial instruments people always whisper about.
Derivatives. Don't forget cryptocurrencies, too.
Right. It's all happening electronically now, creating this intricate web of global financial interactions.
Makes you wonder if we'll ever become a completely cashless society.
Now, that's a debate for another time. But speaking of things we interact with physically, fact number 2 might make you a bit squeamish.
Oh yeah, this one is a bit icky. A banknote, that dollar bill you're holding can harbor a virus for up to 17 days.
Ugh. That's not something you want to think about. All those germs.
Bacteria, fungi. Who knows what's lurking on those bills?
It's a good reminder to wash your hands after handling cash. Or, better yet, stick to contactless payments whenever possible.
Agreed. Now for fact number 3, let's talk about those tiny coins we often find in our pockets or under the couch cushions. Pennies. Did you know they're actually quite expensive to make?
Isn't it ironic? Both the US and Spain spend more money producing a penny than it's actually worth.
It's like the penny itself is in debt.
Huh. Maybe that's why there's been some debate about whether it even makes sense to keep making them.
Now, this next one's for all the design enthusiasts out there. Fact number 4. You can't Photoshop money. Nope, Adobe won't let you.
Clever, right. Photoshop has a built-in money detection system.
It's all about preventing counterfeiting.
It makes you wonder how many people have tried to create their own fortune with a few clicks and keystrokes.
I'm sure there are some interesting stories out there. All right, time for a blast from the past. Fact number 5. The first ATM was installed in London back in 1967.
Can you imagine life before we could access our money 24/7?
It's amazing how quickly we've become reliant on those little machines. But the story behind the first ATM is quite interesting. The inventor, John Shepherd Barron, came up with the idea after being locked out of his bank on a Saturday.
Talk about a light bulb moment. But there's a twist. Early ATMs didn't use those magnetic stripe cards we're used to.
They used checks, but not just any checks.
Don't tell me. Radioactive checks.
You got it. They used a slightly radioactive isotope for authentication.
That's both ingenious and a little bit terrifying. Thankfully, technology has advanced since then. No more radioactive cash withdrawals.
Okay, now, for a fact, that's a bit shocking, to say the least. Fact number 6. In 17th century India, there was a tax on covering your breasts.
Wait, what?
You heard that right. This wasn't just some random quirk either. This tax was specifically aimed at lower caste women, effectively denying them the basic right to modesty.
Wow, that's awful. So they were basically penalized for trying to cover up.
Exactly. And it gets even worse. The amount of the tax varied depending on the woman's breast size and perceived attractiveness.
That's just, I don't even have words.
Now let's move on to something a bit lighter. Fact number 7. Paper money was invented in China, way back in the 7th century.
Wow, really? That predates so many modern inventions.
It does. The Tang Dynasty was facing a copper shortage, so they started using paper notes as a temporary solution.
And that temporary fix ended up revolutionizing currency as we know it.
Talk about an accidental invention that changed the world.
Speaking of changing the world, prepare to have your assumptions challenged. Fact number 8. The first credit card wasn't for those crazy shopping sprees we often associate them with.
Nope, it was actually more like a VIP club membership.
Western Union created it in 1914 as a customer loyalty program for their elite clientele. Think special treatment, preferential rates, and a line of credit for specific services.
So not quite the same as racking up online purchases, huh?
Definitely a different world back then. It makes you wonder how those early adopters would react to our modern credit card landscape.
They'd probably have a collective heart attack. Okay, ready for another history lesson? Fact number 9. The first mint in the entire Americas was founded in Mexico in 1535.
So not in Philadelphia, like many might assume.
Nope. This one was established by the Spanish crown in Mexico City, and its main purpose, producing silver coins.
It's amazing to think about the journey those early coins must have taken, spreading throughout the Americas and shaping the financial systems of the New World.
It's fascinating to see how financial history stretches far beyond the familiar Wall Street narrative. Now, speaking of Wall Street, have you ever wondered where the term bankruptcy comes from?
Actually, I have. It always sounded so dramatic.
Well, the origin story lives up to the drama. It dates back to 15th century Italy.
Ooh, tell me more.
When a banker failed, authorities would literally break their bench, or bancarrota in Italian.
So broken bench became bankruptcy. That's incredible.
A very public display of financial ruin, wouldn't you say?
It definitely sends a strong message. Imagine that happening today. A CEO's desk getting smashed on live TV.
The headlines would be epic. But on a serious note, it does show how seriously people took financial failures even centuries ago.
It makes you wonder if those public displays of accountability might have kept some folks on the straight and narrow.
Food for thought. Okay, ready for another mind-blowing fact? This one's a doozy. Fact number 11. Accounting is over 5,000 years old.
5,000 years? Seriously, that's older than, well, almost everything.
It's true. Archaeologists have discovered clay tablets dating back to ancient Sumeria, and guess what? They contain accounting records.
So the next time someone complains about balancing their checkbook, just remind them that humans have been grappling with financial record keeping for millennia.
It's a profession with serious historical roots.
Absolutely. Okay, get ready for this one. Fact number 12. The world's largest coin weighs a whopping 100 kilograms.
Hold on, let me do the math. That's over 220 pounds.
And it's worth a cool $1 million.
I'm picturing trying to make change with that thing.
Good luck finding a vending machine that accepts it. But seriously, this massive coin was created in Canada in 2007. It's made of pure 24-karat gold, featuring Queen Elizabeth II on one side and a beautiful maple leaf on the other.
That sounds more like a work of art than a piece of currency.
It's definitely more valuable for its gold content than its face value.
I wouldn't want to be the one carrying that around in my wallet. Okay, now for a fact that's a bit, well, let's just say it's unusual. Fact number 13. In 2009, a county in China actually fined people for not smoking.
Wait, you're kidding, right?
I wish I was. It happened in Gongyin County. Apparently, they were trying to boost local cigarette tax revenue. They even required government officials to smoke a certain number of cigarettes.
That's wow. Talk about a counterintuitive approach to public health.
It's certainly a head-scratcher. Makes you wonder about the sometimes strange ways financial incentives can play out.
A good reminder to always look beyond the surface. Now, for fact number 14, let's take a trip to one of the most famous streets in the world, Wall Street. Ever wonder how it got its name?
I think most people would assume it has something to do with finance, but
nope, it's actually named after an actual wall.
way back in 1652, the Dutch built a wall to protect New Amsterdam, which we now know as New York City. It was meant to defend against attacks from Native Americans, colonists, and the British.
So a simple defensive structure ended up becoming synonymous with global finance.
It's amazing how history works, isn't it?
Absolutely. And finally, prepare to have your mind blown one last time. Fact number 15. McDonald's main business isn't actually fast food. It's real estate.
Wait, seriously? I thought they were all about those Big Macs and fries.
Well, those are definitely part of the equation, but their real moneymaker is real estate. They strategically acquire or lease properties in prime locations, then sublease them to their franchisees at a higher rate.
So they're essentially landlords.
Exactly, and very successful ones at that. It's a brilliant business model. They generate income from both rent and royalties on sales.
Talk about thinking outside the bun.
It's a great example of diversifying your income streams.
Well, there you have it. 15 curious financial facts that hopefully make you see the world of money in a whole new light. What was your favorite fact?
Ooh, that's tough. I think for me, it's got to be the McDonald's one. It's just so unexpected. What about you?
I'm torn between the McDonald's one and that accounting fact. But hey, we want to hear from our listeners too.
Definitely. Head over to the comments section and tell us your biggest takeaway, any burning questions you have, or even other bizarre financial facts you've stumbled upon.
We love learning from you all. And speaking of things that'll make you think, don't forget about our episode on Charles Ponzi and his infamous scheme.
Oh yeah, that was a wild one.
If you haven't heard it yet, we've got a link in the comments section.
Definitely worth checking out.
It's a classic tale of financial deception.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the curious world of finance.
Until next time, subscribe to Golden Root for more captivating stories and deep dives. Keep exploring.